So we're ready to finish our counting numbers. We have done 0 through 10. We have done 11 through 19. We have done 20 through 29. We have done 22 through 99. So all of our double downs. We have done 30 all the way. $68, $69. There's a natural rocking. Goes the other way. 98, 97, 96. There's a natural rocking motion. You'll see that happen if it happens with you. You don't need to exaggerate it, so you don't have to go like this, 69. Don't do that. But when you see people kind of rock, that's totally natural. It's actually easier to read if you know that that's happening. Just like with the double downs, when you have the 22 and the palm is down, you know it's 22. When you see the hand rocking a little bit, you know that you're going to a 6 to an 8 kind of a thing. So it'll help you with it. The last thing that you need to do so that you can count to 1,000,000 is if you think of the hundreds, if you think of century, century starts with a C, your hundreds are a C. 100 is 1 and then a C. 2 is 2 and a C. 3 and a C. You will see 100 sign 1 and then a crook because that's a C. You see the C there? And you will see 200, 300, 400, and 500. Then it goes to the 6C, 700, okay? So now you can count to 999, which would look like 999. So now you need to know how to do 1,000. 1,000 is 1,000. You need to do it that way. Don't be doing this. And don't be doing this. It's just straight in, 1,000. If you did it twice, moving your hand a little bit forward, and then you bring it up, that's million. If you do it up again, you do billion. So in a sense, it's kind of cool because you can do 1,000, million, billion. But now that can get hard to read. So what I encourage you to do is when you're doing 1,000, great, do 1,000. If you're going to do billion, learn how to spell it. It's not that hard. B, and then I-L-L-I-O-N. Billion is not hard. Million is not hard. And just make sure that they see that it's a B and then billion comes out. It's much clearer that way. One thing you do want to know with your signing of your numbers is in ASL, we don't do 1,214 or 1,244. you would do 1,244. In ASL, it's not 1,244. It's 1,244. Pretty much anything you do it that way. Your years, you can do 1914. But when you're doing numbers, and that's what we're talking about here, are counting numbers. That's why I've stressed so hard in this class. We're talking about counting numbers. We're not talking about years. No years. But when we're talking about counting, if we are talking about, say, 15,200, then we would do 15,200. But if it's 1,000, if we would do 1,500, we're not going to do 1,500. You're going to do 1,500. In English, we do 1,500. ASL, you don't. Okay, that's it for your counting numbers. You can now count up to 1 billion.